Please, please, please do this one thing to just completely change your life around. I know there's things that you want to do. I know there's clothes that you want to wear. I know there's people that you want to meet, places that you want to go, but you just feel like you can't do it or you feel like you don't deserve it. And it all comes down to setting standards and raising standards for yourself. If you want lasting change in anything, it comes down to your standards. Everyone in life gets their must have instead of their should haves. You don't always get your goal, but you get your standards. In other words, wants don't get met, your standards do. Both raising and lowering your standards become a part of your identity. Whatever you say, this is who I am, that's your identity. Nothing more, nothing less. You follow through with who you believe you are, and you move and think consistently with who you think you are. You have to prove to yourself through repeated action, you are who you say you are to close that identity gap. You are who you are versus who you want to become. And the action is in between. So the more that you do, the easier that gap closes. Simple as that. It's something within you that needs to stay consistent with how you define yourself. When did you define yourself? It could have been subconsciously or consciously. However, your life that you live today is based on the standards that you set months ago, that you set weeks ago, that you set years ago. Even people in their 50s still go to the gym because they still identify themselves as athletes. They could have played college sports. Like I said, they're in their 50s. They could have played college sports years ago, decades ago, but they still consider themselves, they still identify as an athlete. So guess what? That standard that they set for themselves is, I'm going to still go to the gym. I'm going to still stay in shape. I'm going to still eat right. Everyone has a set of standards that will never go under. The gas that they keep in their car, their account balance, how much cash they keep on them, how much they make a month, their phone battery, their computer battery, their work ethic, where they live, what they wear, and how they dress, what you eat is all a part of your standards. The people you keep around you is all a part of your standards, and you set them for yourself. You might, okay, let me slow down. Your standards can either be a good thing or they can limit you, and you may not see them as a limitation. You just adopted being a certain way for someone else or playing small. So we fail to realize that we have more in the tank. We don't fail or even try so other people will like you, realizing, okay, that's not who I really am. You know what I'm saying? The problem with that is you are letting others set the standard for you. Oh, that's just who I am. Oh, that's just how it is. They can, I can't. Those are standards that you set for yourself, either, like I said, subconsciously or consciously. Oh, I can't afford this. Growing up, I hated hearing that. Oh, we can't afford this, or I can't afford that. I don't have enough money for this. Bro, you can do anything you want. What you mean you can't afford something? Like, no matter how long it takes, you probably just not doing enough. And you're not doing enough because the standards that you set for yourself, bro, your mind is way more than any amount of money. If somebody came up to you and said, okay, let's trade. We'll do surgery on you and we'll take your mind. And then instead of, you know what I'm saying, you having your brain, we're going to leave you without a brain. And instead, we're going to give you $10 million. Would you do that? Hell no. I guarantee you wouldn't do that. You know why? Obviously, one reason, you'll die without a brain. But two, you already know subconsciously, somewhere in your mind, you know that your mind is worth way more than $10 million, $20 million, $30 million, $30 billion. Like, no, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I just always felt like, oh, we can't afford this, or we can't do this. I feel like it was just so like weak and helpless. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're not even trying to figure out a way. I feel like that was just a backdoor, like an easy way to just let yourself off the hook. I hated that shit. I always hated that shit. I always have. But you think those people who are traveling and taking trips, making 70 bands a month, because you have people that's making 10 bands a month. You got people that's making $20,000, $30,000 a month easily, 50,000, like 70,000. It's like so many people that are doing what they want to do when they want to do. You think those people don't have priorities? You don't think those people have the same amount of energy, the same amount of time that you have? Okay, they may have more money or may have more time than you do, but guess what? They didn't always have that. They had to set a standard for themselves. They was like, hell no, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not doing this no more. Like, they found out a way to get to that point. It didn't just happen. It didn't just happen like that. Like, you think their life is less busy than yours? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But one thing for sure is they made that a must for themselves. They made that a must for themselves. Simple as that. And it's really just early conditioning. Like, I know that there's this thing in the circus where they condition baby elephants at a young age. They put them on a rope so they won't move, so they won't walk away. And over time, as the elephant gets older, that rope, they associate that rope with not being able to move. The elephant in the baby rope and the adult circus in the baby rope had that same mind conditioning that the rope doesn't allow them to escape, even when they easily have the ability to escape. Even especially like from the perception of somebody else on the outside looking in, it's like, you a big elephant. Why don't you just rip the rope? Why don't you just, uproot it from off the ground? But they just been conditioned for so long since a baby, that they feel like they don't deserve it. They feel like they can't do it. So like I said, you had to prove to yourself through repeated action every single day that you are who you say you are. I heard the saying that the man who believes he can and the man who believes he can't are both right. So if you feel like you can't do something, guess what? You just won't do it. But if you feel like you can do something, you'll do it. You'll figure out a way, even if you can't do it immediately. So it's always that one thing that pushes us over the edge to never deal with again, not having enough. This can be in any part of your life, not having enough, done dealing with a certain type of person, never dating the same type of person again, never eating that food again, never taking that drink again, you know what I'm saying? Or never drinking that much again, never sniffing that again, never smoking that again, you know what I'm saying? Like, never making this certain mistake again, because these are standards for yourself. Never going back to sleeping on your greeny floor, never going back to just watching TV and eating junk food, never, never getting a haircut once a month, never dressing a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are standards that you set for yourself, and you really have to get to know who you are. You really have to define yourself. You can't let other people influence you. Like, okay, let's go here or let's do that. If that doesn't align with you, just don't do it, because you're allowing them to set the standard for you. So today, take a look at any place you have a limitation and ask yourself, when and why did I decide to adopt this belief? Lock in on who you want to become so your mind can find a way to keep you consistent with your actions and keep you consistent with that identity that you want to be. Simple as that. Simple as that. Because like I said, it's something deep within us that needs to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. Because I ain't gonna lie, it's been times where I wanted to get something and I just be like, no, I don't deserve that. I haven't worked hard enough for that. But that's just the identity. That's just the limitation I put upon myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, even growing up, like I said, I hated when my people, especially, like when I say my people, I mean like my family. They'd be like, oh, we can't afford this. We can't do this. We can't. It just sounds so fucking helpless. I hated that shit, bro. Like, what do you mean? You haven't even tried. You haven't even tried to expand yourself enough to get what you wanted to get. But that's all because of their self-beliefs, their standard that they set for themselves. And you know what that does? You know what I'm saying? To us as we're young, we adopt that same mindset. We adopt that same standard. I hated it. It doesn't make sense. So yes, to change your life completely around. And I don't want to say like change your life, change your identity, like it's going to be a whole 360 you know what I'm saying, degree change. It may be just a 180 because you're not just flipping the script on who you think you are. You're just expanding your identity. Now, if you need to go back and you need to do a whole 360 degree flip, okay, do that. But for the most part, you already have a sense of who you are, but it's just small. It's not big enough yet. So you need to expand it. So the more your identity expands, the more your standards are set. So that's really the main thing. In order to change your life, you got to set a higher standard for yourself, whether that's your work ethic, whether it's how you communicate, whether it's if you going to the gym, you keeping your body in shape, the food that you eat. You know what I'm saying? You got people that have a standard of eating McDonald's, and you have another standard on the other spectrum where you have people that want to eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't consider Chipotle, you know what I'm saying, the most healthy choice of food, but literally, you have somebody down here that's willing to eat McDonald's. You have somebody like, hell no, I never eat McDonald's. I haven't ate McDonald's in years because their standard is so high for themselves. I hope you understand what I'm saying, bro. You got somebody that's, you know what I'm saying, they'll sleep on the floor versus, you know what I'm saying sleeping in a king size mattress firm bed. I don't know, bro. The standard is all up to you, and nobody can change that except you. Like, you have to get fed up enough to where you just don't want to deal with it anymore. I really can't put it into other words. Like, you just have to raise your standards. And I know it's easier said than done. It's definitely easier said than done, but it can be done. It can be done. It just takes repetition. It takes changing your mindset to raise your standards. That's all. You have to want more for yourself. You have to want what you want for yourself, not what everybody is telling you that you should have. Because like I said, you don't get your wants. You get your standards. You get what you settle for. You get what you negotiate for. You get what you think you deserve. Like, just really think about this. And this is all on how you see yourself. So if you want to see yourself better, I guess you got to do better. You know what I'm saying? If you need to build that discipline, if you need to build those communication skills, if you need to, you know what I'm saying, learn that skill, learn that, whatever it is, bro, that is what's going to set your standard. That's what's going to close that identity gap from where you are now to who you want to be. So the more that you do, the more the gap closes. The next thing you know, who you want to be and who you are, they're one. They're one. But that's all, bro. That's really the main thing that you need to do to change your life. And it all starts and ends with you.